Okay, let's see if we can make this work better. Okay. No, it looks the same. Like Facebook changed the way so I don't know where to find your comments now. I can't find the comments. I can see that there's a comment. This is so heartbreaking. I can see that there's comments. I can't find you. Oh my goodness, I can't find you. Oh, this is killing me. I feel awful. All right, well, we're going to just do the best we can. I don't know why I can't see your comments. This sucks. Because, normally you end up right here on the side where I can see you and I can't see you. Oh my goodness. All right, well, some new funkadelic thing with dashboard. Hang on. No? I'm looking at all these new features they've got for us. And but they're still not showing me. Hello. Still not showing me the comments. Stream setup. Comments. Wait a minute. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, here's where I can put the comments. To protect you. That's good. That's something. But I still can't see your comments in the dashboard. Dashboard. Let's go. There, I can see you. Yes, I can see Chris John. Okay, so here's what we got to do. We have to move the Instagram camera over here. That's so weird because they moved the comments to the totally other side of the page. But yes, I can see you. Okay, but then where did you just go? Yes, I can see you. I can see you now. Yay! Thank you so much for your patience, Facebook family. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Because they've changed some kind of hoobity-doo with Facebook and I couldn't see you. So this is very exciting. Open in, okay, comment, pop out. Let's see what that does. Now you're on a totally different page. Okay, all right, I can do that. All right, so, shoo, I appreciate your patience because that just, I can't stand not being able to see your comments because I want to know that you're there and I want you to know that you can talk to me and ask me questions. And oh my goodness, now I'm like a little stressed out. Okay, so that's so funny because we've been having so many issues with communication and technology, and we're not even in a Mercury retrograde, which is really bananas because I know if you followed along the last couple of days, I got thrown in Facebook jail. Chris was in Facebook jail. We've got, all kinds of people who have been having there's a setting that comments have to be 100 characters long instead and to be ordered. Okay, I did. I made a I did. That keeps the spammers. I made a comment, a restriction that says the comments have to be longer so that it just doesn't just say inbox me. So I can fix that. Let me see. Let's see. All right, I can see. Let's see if we can fix our comments here. And I'll take off the ones that say they have to be at least 100 characters. That way Chris can woohoo because I know she likes to woohoo. Okay, you should be able to woohoo now. Oh my goodness. All right, so I don't like this because Facebook has changed. I feel like we've spent 10 minutes talking about this already. So I feel like Facebook has changed and they have all these metrics and I don't care when we're live. I just want to see you. We will work it out. In the meantime, there has been much about so many, communications issues and all kinds of stuff, with, um, and we're not even in a Mercury retrograde, which is really very frustrating. And to be able to have like where, we can't communicate and texts aren't going through and Facebook is being quite a bear, and to have phone issues, people with phone issues, and miscommunications where people are jumping to conclusions or making assumptions, and there is just all kinds of crazy weird things going on with communication. And as I say, we're not even in a Mercury retrograde, so it's really um, a very strange time to be in communicating anything. And it's interesting because we are still in Aries, and we are still in this time where we are meant to be setting this new intention and really putting our wishing well, our wishing um, energy, our manifestation, our big dreaming energy. This is the time that we are really working on that. This is the big dreaming energy. And to be able to have all of these weird things going on, I really feel like it's so much like signs from the universe that are telling us, hey, you're supposed to be paying attention over here, not over there. And I know a lot of us, we've talked about how we have to release all these things that no longer serve us and release these things that are um, not for our highest and best good, so that we are cleared to go forward in this manifestation. And then we have communications, issues and things like that. So it is, I want to encourage you to really listen to what the universe is trying to tell you. The answers are, the answers are there, but we have to take time to learn how to listen. And I think that that's something that we take time, with in general. So when you have somebody who is, your friend, your family, whatever, and your partner, and you're talking to them, when we listen to people talk, so often in our mind, we're like, oh, I'm going to respond to that. Okay, yeah, this is what I'm going to say. And so we stop listening because we're thinking so hard about what we're going to say and how we're going to respond to whatever has just been presented to us. And so I want to encourage you as you are as you are listening, as you are working on building your relationship, building your trust with the universe, that as you are building that relationship, one of the things that is so important is learning to, oh, you don't get to, oh, that was me. I was like, wait, there's a scare, but no, it was me. So one of the things is that we want to um, really build trust with the universe by listening. And that means active listening. So when we're sitting across from someone, active listening means not paying attention to what I'm going to say in response to that person, but really listening to what is coming out of them and allowing myself to tap into what they're feeling, what feeling is being conveyed while I'm listening to what they are sharing. And it's so powerful when we're actively listening, because the fact is that, if you want to, you can jot something down, but because then you're not storing it in your head. Okay, because when we're storing it in our head, now there's so much energy that's attached to how do I remember this, but I still want to listen to what they're saying, and we can really use up so much energy. So if you want to just jot it down, even just like a little, like a keyword, a buzzword. So here we take this active listening and we talk about, having that with a human. Let's translate that into listening to the universe. So just like we build trust with a friend, for whoever may be sitting across from us and they've shared something deep and secret or difficult to share or what have you, and they shared that with you, now we have built some trust between us. And so as we go forward, and our relationship will be a little bit stronger and a little bit stronger and a little bit stronger. And it is the same with the universe. the more we can give a little trust to the universe, receive back what they are trying to give us, we will build strength in that trust. We will build a little bit more trust. So when we do that, we ask the universe a question. We say, um, so my husband, I'm going to use my husband as an example. My husband bought a new phone. His phone was dying. It was really being quite inconvenient, and he needed a new phone. So he bought a new phone. It wasn't really the one he wanted, but it was the one that was, made sense, and it was, the economical choice, and all of that. But it wasn't really what he wanted. And so he's like, is this the right phone to buy? And he has the phone for a week. And all of a sudden it starts to have all these malfunctions and all these problems. And he says, I need to return the phone because, it's malfunctioning. It's having all these problems. So we return the phone, no problem. Everything's fine. Gets a new phone. This is the phone he really wanted in the first place. He's so happy. Everything is easy. Everything just flows. When we are in that place where we are listening to the universe, things will flow. He kept hearing it in his head. This is the, economical choice. This is the practical choice. This isn't what I want. This is what I should. And so he kept hearing it in his head. And so sure enough, the universe is like, but that's not what you want. So we're going to take this phone away, and we're going to, put the situation where you can now get the thing that you want. It is also, hi, April. Hey, look, a comment. I can see it. Yay. I talk about, having to get a new doctor for my knee surgery. And it's so interesting, and always is just so fascinating to me how the universe works. We had had this relationship with this doctor. I had been with Matt for a long time. He'd worked with my kids, with my parents. I trusted him. I knew. I never liked his practice though. When his practice got absorbed into a bigger group, wasn't so happy. But I was like, all right, he's still my guy. And then all of a sudden, he didn't take my insurance, the new insurance that I got, just because they took it, and then they didn't take it anymore, and I had to find another doctor. And so of course the guy that I am directed to is someone from my hometown. You're in the flow of things. This past weekend I was so gratified to spend the weekend in a training program with John Holland and Janet New Havoc. I've studied with them before. They're so wonderful, and it was so nice because it's been, with 2020, it's been, such a long time since we've really been able to be in these immersive workshops. Those of you who follow us on Psychic Squares 2021, or before that, Psychic Medium Squares, that group formed because of the amazing relationships that we all built from 5 days working with John and Janet in Virginia Beach at the Edgar Casey ARE Center. And that's what happened. So to be able to come out of that week, that full week of just nonstop training, and to have these relationships so strong that we were able to create this group that is so fantastic. And our next live is coming up. But that's what happens when you get into a group of like-minded people. You feed your soul, you fill your bucket back up. And so I was so overjoyed to spend the time in this group. And so it was interesting because we had odd numbers. So when we would go into breakout rooms, we're supposed to be groups of two. Then there was a group of three, and it's fine. Okay, I'm in a group of three. I don't care. And I said to the two other women that were in the group, I said, okay, well, why don't you guys go first, and I'll wait. And then the next thing I knew, I was pulled out of that group and plopped into another breakout room with another woman who needed a partner. I was like, that's perfect. Happy to do that. And she immediately brings through my twin flame and gave a fantastic reading with lots of information of things that he and I have been talking about. And when you ask the universe, like these were all questions that she had no idea. I'd never met this woman before. Questions that I had been asking him that she had no idea about, that now she was bringing forward this information and sharing with me as confirmation. And so I want to share this with you because even for everything that I know, and I know, when we ask the universe a question, there will be an answer. If, and this is the big part, if we are willing to listen, and that means we've got to get quiet. We've got to get quiet in here. That means we've got to get quiet in here. We've got to be open to the signs. We'll be open to the signs. And so often we are so quick to dismiss the signs from the universe, the guidance from higher places. We're so quick to dismiss it as, oh, I'm just making it up. And I will tell you, I'm guilty. I will tell you I'm guilty. So I have been working with him. We have been working on physical contact because I know from the work that I do as a medium, I know that when a spirit is near, they can literally touch my energy or touch my physical body where I can physically feel them. I have felt, a hand on my shoulder blades. I have felt the shivers up my spine. I have felt a hug. I felt amazing, amazing things. So I know it is possible for someone to, who is in the spirit world, to give such an energetic impression that we here in the physical can literally feel it. It is, April, you're absolutely right. Sometimes we do have difficulty deciphering the message, so we ask again. So I have been working with my twin about squeezing my hand. Squeeze my hand. I sit in meditation. I ask questions, and we've decided that this hand is no, and this hand is yes. And I think, am I going crazy? Am I going crazy? Am I making this up? And you're good, April. I got you. Am I making this up for everything that I know about how spirit can make a physical impression on me? Am I just wishful thinking that he's squeezing my hands? And so in this reading from a woman I never have met before, lovely woman named Michelle, did a great job. And she says in the reading to me, she says, he's talking about holding your hands. And I'm like, okay. I got it. Because even for all that I know, sometimes I do need to be reminded. Sometimes we just need to be reassured. And so, April, when you have difficulty deciphering the message, because I'm right there with you, because there was something that was given to me about cultivating a relationship, and I'm looking at this going, this doesn't make any sense to me. And so I just keep asking more questions. And after a little bit, I got more answers. And so we get this information. It comes to us, for me at least, it comes through intuition. So I'm asked to do a task, and I think this seems really weird and inappropriate, and this is not really for me. And then I realize after asking, I'm like, are you sure this is for me? Are you sure this is what you want me to do? And then I have learned to start asking, when you were a kid and they would teach you in grammar school about how to write a sentence or how to write a story, and you would have these things like the who, what, where, when, why, and how, right? And so I have fallen back onto these questions. Who do you want me to contact? Where is that person? Why do you want me to contact them? How do you want me to contact them? How do you want me to do this? When do you want me to do this? And so, as I've asked more of those questions, I learned that this thing that I've been struggling with, that I think I was being asked to do, it wasn't that I was being asked to do it, it was that I was being acknowledged for having already done it. And I thought, oh, this makes more sense. And once I figured it out, there was that vibration within the body of like, yes, you got it. And there was that feeling of peace about it. And so it is on us to trust the information that's coming through. And at the same time, it is on us to do the work. So they can't always tell us who, what, why, where, when, how, all those word questions. But we can ask, and you watch. And then when the symbols and signs and things come forward, we don't immediately discount. So I had said to my husband that my twin has lately been sending me cardinals, which cardinals are not terribly uncommon here where I live in Florida, but they're also not super common. Like we don't see them every day. And so I know he's been sending me these cardinals. And what was interesting on our walk this morning was I was telling my husband that I'm aware that my twin is sending me cardinals more often. Okay, okay, okay. Did I mention we've been having issues with communications lately? So that was the mailman, and those are all my dogs. Okay, hey, it's okay. It's Archie. He's gone. It's okay. Oh, my heavens. So we're walking this morning, and I'm mentioning to my husband that I'm seeing cardinals. We had seen one yesterday, and we walk back down the street, and there's a point where we turn around and come back. And as we come back and we get to the spot where I was telling him about the cardinals on our way out, as we get to that same spot on the way back in, there is a cardinal. There is a cardinal. So those kind of things are not coincidences. If you're thinking to yourself, oh, it's a coincidence, I'm telling you it's not. There is no such thing as coincidence. And I don't know if you watch Grey's Anatomy. I don't watch a ton of network television, but I like Grey's Anatomy, and I kind of go in and out with depending on what's going on. But this storyline that they've been doing with Meredith Grey being, in the spirit world and talking to all these people who have been on the show is absolutely fascinating, because there was one point where they have thank you where they are talking about her loved ones in the spirit world are standing right beside her, screaming and yelling, saying, we're here, we're trying to guide you, we're trying to help, we're screaming, and you're missing it. And I thought that is so true, because we get into like, nah, that can't be a thing, nah, that can't be right. And so I want to really encourage you, April, as you start to listen to the messages and you're looking at the signs and the nudges, because so often we get these like intuitive hits where you're like, yeah, I shouldn't go that way. I shouldn't do that thing. I shouldn't talk to that person. I had a gentleman to call me last week. He wanted to book me for a reading, and I'm very protective of my space. I don't want to bring anybody into the house that might be a COVID carrier, or and certainly not somebody a man if my husband is not here. And this goes back a long time. I've been with Mary Kay for a long time. I've always had appointments with clients into the house, and we're always just very careful, of course. So I get this gentleman who calls me, and it's a very deep voice, this guy, very deep voice. And in my guts, immediately I get this knot in my stomach, and I say, yeah, this isn't good for me to meet with this person. But I don't want to be judgy, and I want to just let it play out. And I ask the universe right away, and I say, guide me with this, guide me through this, and tell me what I'm supposed to do. And I asked the guy, I said, did you want face to face or Zoom? And he says, of course he wants face to face, of course, right? And I said, okay. And I figure I'm going to book him a couple weeks out, because I want to make sure that I'm protecting myself, and that I can, manage that date with my husband. And he asks me a question. The gentleman asked me a question about energy healing, and I mentioned my husband, who is a wonderful energy healing. Click, and he hangs up. And I thought, okay. So I guess he wanted the psychics that didn't have husbands. So okay. But also, that was the universe protecting me. Like, I know if I am not supposed to work with this person, make figure it out and make that thing go away. And so we allow them to guide us, and we allow them to shift things in our life, because they can. They can. I know so many things where, people have said, this thought just popped into my head. I had a dream about a blah, blah, blah. All of that is your intuition, your higher guidance, your guides, your loved ones in spirit that are trying to connect with you, that are trying to say, hey, we're here, we're listening, we're shouting, please hear us. And we want to make sure that opportunity, we give that an opportunity to be part of our reality. Because the more we can open up to that, so often, I mean, I must hear things 100,000, I don't know, 1,000 times a day. Don't go through that red light. Turn left here because there's traffic over there. Don't tell that person, that thing, like, my mom, or, don't give her that piece of information, or what, we hear this intuition in our head all the time, or you get this feeling in your guts. Hi, Robin. We get this feeling in our guts where it's like, oh, let me, so allow yourself to sink into it. Allow yourself to sink into um, the awareness that they're there, and that they are trying to help us. Even the bad stuff is trying to get us to wake up. Even the bad stuff is trying to, and I don't want to use the word bad. Nothing is bad. I mean, there are things that are difficult. There are things that are crushing and heartbreaking. But I believe there is light in everything. I believe there is something for us to learn in everything. And it may take a long time. I mean, some things that, I continue to ask, like, why, I know the answer why my twin left now, because he can be more help to me on the other side. And that sounds very egotistical, but he told me that himself. And that he can be more help to his children, and he can be more help to his wife who's left behind from being on the other side, and or that he had finished everything he came here to do. And I'll tell you, he was somebody that really changed the world. He's not anybody you'd ever know, but he changed the world in your everyday experience, in our everyday experience with the technology that he created for us. And it's possible that he was simply done and that he can be more assistance to us on the other side. That doesn't make it easier. It doesn't make it better. It doesn't make it suck less. So, so understanding that there is goodness in all the things, and the more that we can believe that, the more we'll be able to hear them, and the more we'll be able to understand. And when we get stuck deciphering the message, we ask ourselves these questions: who, what, where, when, why, and how. And so I give, credit back to the grade school teachers, because they knew what they were talking about. It wasn't just, for grammar and good sentence structure. This is a way that we can ask them for more information. Show me. And I've had people say to me, show me you are with me. And then bam, something happens with the person's name on the truck, or the street sign, or an angel on the next, on the car, hanging from the rearview mirror of the car next to you. I mean, there's all kinds of ways that they're communicating with us when we are confused, because I know that is so easy to be confused because they don't always speak clear English. Ask those questions of who, what, why, where, when, how, those questions, but receive and just know, so how often does, network drama TV show get it like so spot on? Know that they are over there on the other side going, we're here. And I kind of think of it like, the Horton Hears a Who, where you are, the little people that are on the speck, and they're yelling, we're here, and Horton is the only one who can hear them. So they're here. So, oh, Robin, thank you so much for posting about our upcoming Psychic Squares event. It's going to be on the 28th, at it's 8 o'clock, and Eastern time is going to be on the Psychic Squares page. So please make sure you are already a member of the Psychic Squares. You just go in there and answer the questions, and I think we have it set for immediate approval, for you to come in. And Robin has shared my link tree. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you have not already, if you click on my link tree, you can click Learn with Me, because our enrollment is open. It is open for the Becoming an Empowered Empath online course. And we ran this a couple months ago, and the feedback was so fantastic. We had people who were just, raving about it. And my favorite truly was one of my friends, who, put it on Instagram. That was the best thing she ever did for herself. So if you are someone who struggles with being an empath, or the energy can be overwhelming to you, you owe it to yourself to check this out. The online course, Becoming an Empowered Empath, the enrollment is open now. The course will go live on May 1st. We want to make sure everybody can get in there to be part of that. So excited. Hi, Melissa. Oh my goodness. Welcome back, everybody. I feel like last week and the week before it was really quiet. There was not that many people on, and I thought, where is everybody? But I think spring break too. All right, so we're talking about deciphering messages. What do you say we talk to some cards and get some more messages? So I am so excited. It sounds like for our next Psychic Squares event, it sounds like we may have ladies' night. It sounds like most of our women readers are going to be active with us that night, and it seems like maybe the gentlemen are busy. So we're waiting to hear from all of our mentors who would be available to work with us on and to work with all of you on Wednesday night. And I'm very, very excited. It says seem like right now it is all of our female readers. So that's going to be fun. We'll see if Elias and Kevin and Dan decide that they can come and join us as well. But if you want to start getting your questions ready for next week, we're really excited about that because I know we didn't do one in March. There was so much going on, a little March Madness. So it's be nice to have everybody back. Okay, so our chakra, our of the yes, it's on a Wednesday, no bowling, yay! So we have Call of the Muse. Call of the Muse is our card for our chakra center, our energy center. Which energy center are we focusing on? Call of the Muse. So this is so interesting to me because this is all about the third eye. This is all about trusting your intuition, following where you're being guided and where you're being led. You heard me shuffle the cards. So this is all about Call of the Muse is all about understanding that you are following your heart, you're following your true calling. The muse is what is your gift, your talent, your thing you came here to do, the piece that you came here to contribute to the world. Follow the muse, the call of the muse. This is your heart. This is your soul's truest calling. What is that for you? Because when you follow that, when you're following your intuition, you're following your heart, there is no wrong answer. There is no wrong answer. All right, let's check in with our goddesses. I love checking in with the goddess power. I got my glasses on my head, so we're good. Let's see which goddess is talking with us today. I love that. Oh, jumpers. I love that Call of the Muse is we're talking about um, listening to intuition and listening to our higher guidance. And then the first card that we pull up is Call of the Muse. This is awesome because this is exactly confirming what we've just said. And the cards always do that. I love when they do. Robin, it is so good to see your beautiful face too. I have missed you. Okay, so the card that we have Artemis. Oh, interesting. Oh, interesting. So Artemis, and her buzzword, her code word, her message word, it's not really a code, is focus. So let's see. In order to fully embrace the intentions you have set in motion and your current conditions, it's important to seize the moment. Now is the time you can truly make your mark, as the Greek goddess of the hunt, Artemis, will help guide your arrow. Surrender to the process of whatever is calling for your attention. Immerse yourself fully in whatever needs your focus and allow yourself to the experience of deep abiding trust. I'm serious. You cannot make this stuff up. Hello, follow the call of the muse. Artemis is going to help guide you if you can trust. Oh my goodness. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, we do have a couple of jumper cards. We're going to leave those for the end because we'll move on to our cards with the Work Your Light Oracle deck. So, interesting, interesting, interesting. So fascinating that the cards, I'm telling you, they listen. It's like they listen. You know how when you talk about something with someone or you click on a website that maybe you've never been to before, like let's say you were clicked on Blue Apron on your web browser and you wanted to learn more about the food service Blue Apron, and then all of a sudden Facebook starts putting up ads for Blue Apron on your Facebook page. Cookies, listening, something. How many times has it happened where you've talked to somebody about something you weren't even looking on the internet? You talked to somebody about something and the predictive text or the little, spies in our phones, and then all of a sudden, next time you're online, you're getting emails or ads for whatever it was, that product that you were just talking about. I think the universe is like that, not in the weird spying way, but I think the universe is like that, where we have the opportunity to have them. They are listening to what's going on our conversations. They're listening, they see where we are, they see what's going on, and they are working actively to help us to create the Lemuria Lemurian countryside, the Lemurian land of utopia, which we have seen come up before. We have seen this come up before, the Lemurian card. Where am I? Here I am. It's weird. I've got my video in a different place. Facebook changed the layout of stuff, and I'm looking all over. So it took us a little bit today to get combobulated with where are the comments. So my picture is off to the side. So we have Lemuria, which is the time of utopia, time of peace, and more so the time of peace in our hearts. Okay, so we talk about utopia. We talk about utopia. Excuse me. We talk about utopia as part of excuse me, we talk about utopia and people say, oh, it's not possible. We'll never have peace on earth. People are just so much anger and there's so much war and strife and we'll never have, we're never going to get to that. But let me be very clear. When we talk about Lemuria, we're also talking about having peace in your heart, having peace in your heart. The Christmas carol, right? Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Hello, that is absolutely the truth. Let there be peace in your heart and let it begin with you, because then you cavitate out to all the other people that you come in contact with and you create peace around you. You create more peace and more ripples in the water that are building to peace. And so we vibrate higher because we're vibrating in that place of love and peace. Oh, yes, Robert, so annoying. This is, I'm assuming, the new Facebook layout that for lives is the new so annoying thing. We're going to have to play with this and see how we can figure this out. Okay. Well, I don't mind actually is that I'm very small over here in the corner because I don't really need to be looking at me. I want to be looking at you and all your beautiful comments. Okay, so our next question card is Sisterhood of the Rose, and it says the beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, and teacher. And so I take this back to the Sisterhood of the Rose. It goes right back to, I scrolled all the comments. It takes right back to to following the muse, the call of the muse. Because when you are following the call of the muse, then you are following your own ability, your own intuition of being the priestess and the mystic and the teacher of your own life, and allowing those things to come in for you. When you are following the call of your muse, you are welcoming into your life the mystic, the teacher, the priestess who can guide you and help you. It is so incredibly powerful. How often have we heard that saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears, right? We've heard that saying, and it is so incredibly true. And I will tell you that it never looks like what we think it's supposed to look like, what we think it's gonna look like. It never looks like what we think it ought to look like. It never looks like what I think it like what I imagined in my mind. Now, it doesn't mean it's worse. It's usually better, but it never looks like what I think it ought to look like or what I'm expecting. And I'm like, oh, it's you. You're the teacher. Okay, I get it. I hear you. And sometimes it's a child. It could be a dog. It could be a manatee. It could be an older person. It could be someone in my life or your life who doesn't have any connection to this work, but they just are a conduit for you to receive the information. I have, so many relatives where, they don't really necessarily believe in all this stuff, but then when they'll say something, I'm like, oh, you just got used as a conduit to share information with me, and thank you for being a willing vessel for that information from Spirit to flow through you. Spirit will use any and every means at their disposal to get us the information. Our job is to also be the willing vessel. And when we don't understand, to ask for clarification. I don't understand this. Ask me. Help me. I don't understand this. Explain this to me more. Show me something else. Explain this to me more. And be patient. Okay, here's be patient, because so often we the humans, we live in an instant gratification society, and so we are the ones being like, I don't get it, I don't understand it right this second, forget it. Right? How often do we do that? Right? And so it's up to us to be patient and to understand that it may take days, weeks, months. It may take time for that unfoldment of the information to work its way through your brain and through your heart so that you can really understand what's going on and what you're being called to do. Be patient. Okay, so this is, oh, love. So this is our last card, is the Council of Light. It says divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realms. You gotta just be kidding me, right? I mean, don't you want to say that sometimes when I pull up the cards and just be like, are you kidding me? How is she not choreographing these cards ahead of time? You hear me shuffle. And it blows me away as much as it, I hope it blows you away because there is such a divine intelligence involved in this. There is such an intelligence involved in this. We talk about, working in mediumship. We talk about mind mapping. We talk about, when they ask me things, and I said to somebody, I said, do you have a signed baseball? Yes, yes, there's a signed baseball. I said, don't sell it. And what? How did you know I was going to, thinking about that? I said, yeah, don't sell it. There is an intelligence there. And the more that we can lean in, the more that we can trust it, the more powerful and the more I want to say to you, it is the most warm and loving relationship that I have in my life is the one, and not including my husband. Okay, please don't think I'm not saying nothing negative about my husband who I adore, but people talk about having this relationship with God where they just feel like they're wrapped in his love or God's love. And I feel like that was spirit. I feel like the more I trust them, the more I can lean into them, the more they've got my back. Because think about it for a second. Who is in the spirit world? Well, both of my grandmas, both of my grandpas, my husband's parents, Michael, one of my best friends, my twin flame, my dogs who I adore, my cats who I adore and still talk to and about to this day. So all of these people and critters that love me so much, that loved me so much in life, would never harm me, would only have my highest and best good at heart, would only want the best for me, would only give me their best advice. Of course I would trust them. I would trust them. And the more I trust them, the more joy and the more peace that I receive in my life because I don't have to worry about drama. So I got myself a little bit embroiled in some drama that wasn't really mine or about me. And it was interesting because, somebody said something, pretty harsh and nasty to me. And I said, hey, this is not me. This is not mine. And to be able to ask them, how do I respond to this? What do I need to know about this situation? And to say, you know what, here's where your best response is, and keep your heart open so you're receiving that person with compassion. And the situation resolved itself, at least as far as I was concerned. And the people move on. And it's a difficult situation, and I wish the people involved all the love and healing light that I can muster. And I remind myself of the three questions, right? Is this my problem, situation, conundrum? Do I have the power? Nope. Do I have the power to fix it? Nope. Did anybody ask me to fix it? Nope. And so I receive with love and compassion and I redirect. And especially as an empath, to not take that in, because I have their guidance, because I have this relationship with them, it creates so much more ease in life and how we get through it and how we move through our day when these little hiccups and fuss things and the things that could really just make us want to tear our hair out because we've all had those days where it's like, oh, death by a thousand cuts, things are just going crazy. So even last week when I got put into Facebook jail, which I got to say I've never been Facebook jail before, and it really freaked me out because they're like, well, you only have 30 days to verify your account and we're so short staffed we might not get to in 30 days, and so in that case your Facebook would just be deactivated. I'm like, what? So really freaking out, but not. I was like, okay. And I know that there was a point in my life where I would be like running around throwing things and crying and screaming and being like, ah! And I just wasn't, because I said, what do I need to know? What do I need to do? And so some tips and suggestions were made. We took them, we acted, we did as much proactive as we could. Chris was so kind to guide us that apparently it happens quite a lot. And I took it as a compliment that I must be, shaking the making a high vibration out there in the Facebookiverse. But there was a time when a situation like that would have had me just ripping somebody's head off. But all I could hear from them is just be patient. It will be okay. And the ego mind, the left side of the brain, the monkey mind is like, are you sure? Because it doesn't feel like that and I'm just unsure. And they say, yes, trust us. We've got you, which is, it's hard to lean into that at the first. The more you lean into it, the more you can take comfort in it. It's like building I watched the kids when they were younger, they would watch Mythbusters, and they would build stuff out of duct tape. I'm like, because apparently you can build anything out of duct tape, and they would build like a bridge, and I'm like, that's not gonna hold. But it's layers, and the more you trust, and the more you lean in, the layers get thicker. It holds more weight, and you start to understand that I can walk across this bridge because I am being supported by a power greater than myself. And it becomes a totally different way of trusting what's going on in the universe. And we look at, all the very frustrating and things that are going on right now. I mean, we literally have had 50, 50 mass shootings in our country in a month. 50? I mean, it was so quiet when everything was in quarantine and shut down. And it's like now people are making up for lost time. And we knew that there would be mental health issues and all of this, but it's just like exploding all over the place. 50. And it's possible, especially as an empath, to feel into that energy and to just fall on the floor with the weight of it. But I have to remind myself that for a while I do not understand the point of this senseless violence. Somebody somewhere is trying to do something to bring society to a higher evolution. And if you've ever followed somebody with a cancer diagnosis or going through chemo or any of those kind of things, it's got to get real ugly before it gets better. And I know a lot of us felt like, maybe in the last 4 years that was the ugly, but I guess we're not quite done. And so I try not to get too embroiled in that, but I continue to bring light and love and compassion to the situation and not to receive others with alternate points of view with hostility and hate because that lowers my vibration and it makes it harder to hear them. When we get angry, it's harder to hear them because we stop listening to this side of the brain. We start listening to this side of the brain. When we do psychic work and mediumship work, this side of the brain lights up like a Christmas tree. When they do brain mapping and things, they can see that this side of the brain lights up like a Christmas tree. And so when we get into anger and hostility and frustration and rage, we're not in this part of the brain anymore. We're in this part of the brain. We're in the ego side, the monkey mind, the logic center. And it's different. And we lower our vibration and we bring our energy in. And we no longer have the ability to raise our vibration and push that love and compassion and joy and acceptance and gratitude out to the world. And we've talked about it, right? My slinky. The more we can stay in love and gratitude, the more we can spread our slinky out, and the more love and gratitude we can bring and share with the world. And the higher we can raise our own vibration, the higher we can raise the vibration of those around us. And the more people who are extending their DNA and extending their vibration and staying in that place of love and gratitude, that's how we change the world. And if you're following, as we've talked before about the evolution of humanity through the chakras, we're here. We're in the third chakra. We're in that third chakra, but we're moving into the higher mind. It's coming. It's slow, but it's coming. And so we come back to our cards where we started with following the muse, be the muse, listen to her call, listen to what she's trying to share with you, what she's trying to bring into your life, which is the truest calling of your heart. And know that Artemis the hunter is going to be with you. If you trust her, if you can trust them, that she's going to be with you, guiding your heart, guiding your intention, guiding your arrow, guiding your intention and your attention so that it hits its mark for you to be able to create that utopia, that peace on earth, which isn't just about peace on earth, but it's about peace in our hearts. Because when we all have peace in our hearts, we're going to have peace on earth. And so we bring to this place where we have peace in our hearts, which cavitates out from us and allows us to hear more the sisterhood of the rose, to call in the teachers that we need, to call in the guides and the teachers and the mystics and the priestesses, the people who can help move us forward on our path. And it doesn't have to be people in the spirit world necessarily. This might just be a new friend that comes into your life that can guide you, that has information that you need, that is being used as a vessel to bring us more connection, follow our guidance, follow our intuition, listening to them because they are the council of light. They are the council of light for us. All right. Chris Judd says, if you're taking a question, I have one. I can take one question because we talked for a little longer since we started a little bit late today. Am I on the right path for generating income until my coaching business is built? Should be doing something else instead. I believe that you are on the right path. I know you have asked me this question before, and I believe you are on the right path. I also believe that patience is important. I believe that there is, I believe that it is coming. The light is coming, but I also believe that there are things that you can be doing to have a broader reach. I feel like you're trying to build something. If you've ever seen those silly things where they put a cloth over the person and then the other person stands behind and puts their arms through, and now this person has to like feed them and put makeup on, or they have to eat, cut a meal with a fork and a knife and get the food in their mouth. They have no idea what they're doing because they are missing that mind-body connection. They can't connect with enough with the other person to make that link that would make everything easier. And so I get this image in my mind, Chris, because I feel like you are trying to build this business with this connection that is disconnected. And I want to encourage you, there is out there is outside, there is a broader reach that you can get to if you will think yourself outside of your smaller space, physical space, and think outside. Can you do a Google ad? Can you do a Facebook ad? Can you, get, Yelp, places where you can be spreading the word of what you are doing and how you are doing it. That I think you are in the right place at the right time. I just think not enough people are seeing what you have to offer. So I would suggest looking outside, and being able to share to a broader audience, because I think there are people who really need what you are trying to teach. We just got to have them know about it. All right. I want to thank you for sticking with me today because, ooh, technical difficulties with this new Facebook thing. I mean, I just don't even know what to say about this. This is terrible. And I hate when they change stuff without even telling us. So I thank you so much for being with me and sharing some time and being patient. And I hope you will choose to join me back here on Wednesday at 7 o'clock Eastern Time for meditation. I hope you will choose to join on the 28th, on Wednesday the 28th, after meditation at 8 o'clock for our Psychic Squares 2021 April event, where you're going to be able to connect with all of our psychics and readers and communicators and ask them lots and lots of questions. And also, please don't forget that enrollment is now open for the Becoming an Empowered Empath. I'm waiting for Becoming an Empowered Empath online course. So please Make sure that you are taking a look at that. Ah, you are right. I had Goddess Jumper cards. Thank you, Chris Judd. And please make sure you are checking out the online enrollment for becoming an empowered empath. I did have Goddess Jumper cards. She's right. All right. So we had Epona, who is about wise leadership. Epona, Epona, and I'll read about her. And then we also had Mary, Mother Mary, who is, of course, the goddess of miracles. Of course, she needs no explanation. But let's see Epona, because I'm not familiar with her. So that's cool. I love when new goddesses jump out. Let's meet some new friends. All right. Chris Judd, thank you for having my back, my girl. All right. Epona, wise leadership. Stepping into a world with a sense of surety and positive self-worth is what's called for now. Epona, the Celtic Roman horse goddess of leadership and guidance. Chris Judd, this is for you. Offers you her wisdom. Know that you have what it takes to heed it. You can do anything you place your attention on, and you'll find it easy to accomplish what's needed for your intentions to take form. Whether you're aware of this or not, the way that you manage your accomplishments and even the way you handle failures and losses is modeling the way forward for others. There is a wisdom growing within you. Being true to who you are and placing integrity and humility equal to enthusiasm makes you a wise leader. Love it. I love it. So we have Mother Mary, the goddess of miracles. And then we have Epona, wise leadership. Wise leadership. I think those were for you. No, fantastic. Thank you for reminding me of that so we didn't get off and forget about them. And thank you for spending some time with me today. I love seeing your names. I love seeing your comments. I love spending time with you. I am very sorry that Facebook is being so annoying. Hopefully they'll get some feedback and say, stop that. So have a great week. I look forward to seeing you all on Wednesday at 7. Mwah. Know how much you are loved.